चलिए आज हम लोग स्टोरी पढ़ेंगे एक किरण सेकबाई इज ऑथर ऑफ द स्टोरी फन सीरीज पब्लिश्ड बाय Cambridge University Press. She also co-wrote the Fun for series and an experienced Cambridge English consultant. In this article, she explores how stories can be used to make young people language learning meaningful and memorable. As a child, I loved sitting on my grandfather's lap while he reads me stories. I remember most of them even though I am now a grandparent too. As a child, I was blissfully unaware that as I listened to the stories, I was also learning new words and ways in which those new words combine to communicate ideas and life lessons. A good story encouraged us to turn the next page and read more. We want to find out what happens next and what the main characters do and what they say to each other. We may feel excited and sad, afraid, angry, and really happy. This is because the experience of reading or listening to a story is much more likely to make us feel that we are part of the story too. Just like in our real lives, we might love or hate different characters in the story. Perhaps we recognize themselves, ourselves, or others in some of them. Perhaps we have similar problems. Because of this natural empathy with the characters, our brains process the regarding of a story differently from the way we read factual information. Our brains don't always recognize the difference between an ima- imagined situation and the real one, so that characters become alive to us. What they say and do is therefore more meaningful. This is why the words can structures that relate a story event descriptions and conversations are processed in the deeper way. In the fact culture all around the world have always used storytelling to pass knowledge from one generation to another. One ancestor understood very well that this was the best way to make sure our stories and information about how to relate to others and to our worlds was not very understood but remembered. To notice that the history contains the word's story. More accurately, the word's story derives from history. Encouraging your child to read or listen the stories should therefore help them to learn a second language in a way that is not only fun but memorable. Let's take a quick look learning vocabulary within a factual text or within a story. Imagine the readers are 8-year old instead in animals. In your opinion, are they more likely to remember and want to continue reading the first or second text? My birds and animals live in a world, for example, parrots, pandas, lion, leopards, and rabbits in a sea. We can find whale, dolphin, shark, and octopus. My young brother is called Feed. Feed very interested in animal. He talked and asked the question about the animals all the time. Fred really interested in a parrot and the pandas and lion and leopards and rabbits. But Fred's favorite animals live in a sea. He has picture of whale, dolphin, and shark and octopus on all walls of his bedroom. From do will have stomach, H, story fun and movers. Cambridge University Press 2011. When the closing second language storybooks, you might consider a question like will your will your child easily identify with the central character? Are they of similar ages? For example, will the events instra- interest and excite, scare and amuse your child enough to motivate them to continue reading? In the story of appropriate health, not too short, not too long. Will the layout at the front and the titles and the amount of text on each pages appeals to your child? Is it supported by illustration that you young readers will enjoy looking at. For your child to gain the maximum benefit and language learning from the different stories, consider the story language level carefully. To is the grammar of vocabulary not too easy but still accessible to the reader? Who would the language be similar to that which your child might use in their first language? Would support school works and help the prepare the text. Useful if real publications such as story fun or starters, movers and flyers and other gather readers and carefully written with this important consideration in mind. But but of course, story don't only offers the young readers to chance to read. The experience also creates as opportunity to talk about the story. As a parent, you can encourage your child to describe their favorite person, part of story of picture. Their creativity might be developed by drawing new story pictures or even by writing their own short story as a result. If your child is reluctant and read or has a childhood confidence in their ability to read another language, you might help by reading the story to them, stopping where necessary to interact and ask questions like what you do think will happen text. You will read your children in a relaxed and a fun way. They will subconsciously relate the reading and language learning process or confident in possibility of the courage being read to parents and whatever reason it also simplify loves and they share quiet and close time. The experience of reading listening to the story allows us to escape our own life from a moment live in another one in a fun and safe way. In the same magical experience, goldmine of language may be learned. So encourage your child to read story in their second language as well as first. Each activity will help children practice at least one of skill we test in comprehend English. Young learner text, reading and writing, listening or speaking. They also include words taken from words list is used to create this example. The activities are divided into two levels taken from a common European framework and a reference from the language. As children move through the level in this section, the activity will start to get more difficult. If you are not sure what the level of your children is at, it may be a good idea to start with a pre A1 level activities. If these are not easy to can move up through the level of AI level activities and or A2 level activity. The activity are designed to be used on a desktop or a table. David and Emma gazed at each other across the table. The young couple were content. The meal was delicious and candlelight was soft and music captured the moment perfectly. David looked at Emma, beautiful smile. All the pain of this last breakup, all this doubt and fears about love melted away. His hand reached out, touched the nervously. I have something I want to ask. David researched his eyes to see if I guessed what was coming. Her smile was reassuring and excused in hand. You didn't worry. Whatever it is, arms you. I will say yes. A hug where excitement went through him and prepared to ask the most important question of his life. From the corner of a restaurant, a strange man watched them. He sat stiff and unmoving at the table, pretending to read a menu, but all the while stared with cold eyes at with young couple back their table. David suddenly felt his nervous return. Excuse me, he said to Emma. He